I've always been into fitness. That's always been my thing, okay? But I would justify that because I'm so active that I can eat whatever I want. But I'm going to the gym, so that justifies why I can go get Qdoba or I can go eat a whole pizza after my workout because I deserve it because I did X. I did X, and so I deserve Y. And Y is always some negative self-sabotaging behavior or habit that I've created and told myself that it's okay to do it, right? So this one for me was movie theater popcorn. And this one was bad, man. Like, okay, here's how it would work. I would have a great week in the gym. I would kill it every day in the gym. I would eat all my protein every day. I was on my nutrition. Friday night would come, and I would go to the movie theater and not even really care about what was playing. I didn't care what was playing. I was going there so that I could get the popcorn and the soda. And now when I got the popcorn, like I didn't just get like the cute little tub. Like I got the free refill, like you pay $30 to have so that you could get as much as you want. Like that was me. Now, not only did I go and get as much as I want, and I would get a refill every time, soda and popcorn, but you know, like the little button machine over there, like I would just like hit that little red button and then just like look away and just like, you know, just load it up. And that was my treat. That was the biggest thing that I did to sabotage my health and sabotage my results. Now, fat and sodium and carbohydrates are like the biggest killers of good nutrition ever when you let them get out of control, which I did. And so, like, again, I would go all week long, do really good. Friday night came. I don't even really care about what's playing. I'm looking down at my popcorn tub and I'm just shoveling away. And because of that, like, it really put on a lot of extra weight. A lot of extra weight. And before I knew it, I had put on an extra 13 pounds. And now, granted, I'm still active, but 13 pounds is still 13 pounds. So, if I wanted to get this habit under control so that I can get in better health, I needed to first figure out what my trigger was. Like, what is my trigger? What is, like, when I first get that urge, that's the trigger. And as soon as I get that urge, that's what that like really just sparks this behavior for me to just go out and get my reward, which was popcorn. And so I want you to figure out what your trigger is for the habit. Now, triggers can be a number of things. They could be emotions, they could be certain times of day, they could be certain people, they could be certain places. Now, I got to figure out what my routine was. Now, for me, the routine was, okay, I got off of work on a Friday, had a long week, felt accomplished, and now it's time, because I had a good week, to go and do my thing, to go and get popcorn. And so what I would do is, I'd get off work, I would get in my car, I would drive my little car to the movie theater, and at the time I had this, I wish I had still had pictured this, I had this 1988 Honda Accord. It was like this ugly maroon color, and the door handles were like blue, and only one door open, and on the other side, like the window handle didn't work, so you had to like push the window up and like slide a bolt underneath the window in place so it wouldn't come down. Like it was terrible. But I love that car. Anyhow, I drive my little Honda Accord with like my aftermarket muffler to the movie theater downtown Kalispell. I'd get out, like slam my door, and it wouldn't lock, so I had to like push it up and in and just hope that it stayed in place. And so I'd go into the theater. I wouldn't even care what was playing. I would just walk in and be like, okay, it's this time, what's playing soon? And I would just get a ticket for that movie. Like I said, this had nothing to do with the movie. It had everything to do with the popcorn. What is the process that I go through specifically to get to the next part of this, which is the reward? Now, obviously, we know what the reward is, and we all do something within our habit so that we can get the reward. And now, for a lot of us, like, for some of you guys that were putting comments in here, let's see. Stress eating, being lazy, sweets. Like, all of these are just habits that the reward for us is that we either have to act, but with this action is like some temporary form of a payoff, or the reward for inaction is that we don't have to do anything. And so I'm curious to know, what is the reward that you get for this habit that you've created? What are the 3 biggest habits that hold you back from having killer health, that just having like ideal results and a killer physique? Go ahead and write those down. I'm going to throw some music back on because we're going to need those in a little bit. Warren Buffett said that the chains of habit, what was it? The chains of habit are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken. The chains of habit are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken. And I think that a lot of times, like, these subconscious habits have been going on for the majority of our life. And again, we don't realize that they're even really going on until it comes time to break them. And then we find out, like, holy shit, like, they've got a deeper hold on us than we thought. And what I've found too is that, like, most of the bad habits that we have start first thing in the morning. And so I want to help you guys get clear on starting your day with positive habits so that you start your day just right and you're just going out into your day feeling successful and accomplished, and you're not having to worry about being stressed or full of anxiety. And the best way that I know how to do this is through a morning routine. The majority of people, when they wake up in the morning, the first thing that they do is hit the snooze button. The majority of people hit the snooze button and go back to sleep. Or they hit the phone, they hit the snooze button on the phone, and then they grab the phone and they go right to checking emails. They go right to social media. They go right onto Facebook and start scrolling. And so here's the thing, guys. Everybody has a morning routine, one way or another. Now, what I want to help you with is getting clear on a positive, productive morning routine that's going to serve you, serve your health, instead of hold you back, get you all stressed out and just frazzled before you even leave the house, okay? Creating a morning routine is one of the best ways that I've found to catapult my success into the rest of my day. And this is what I want to do. The first thing you do in the morning, are you ready? Write this down. You open your eyes, hit your snooze button or turn your phone off, whatever. Turn off the alarm. And without going back to bed, without getting on social media, without checking emails, or even thinking about what you have to do today, I want you to lie there with your eyes open, and I want you to think about the things in your life that you're grateful for. Starting your day with gratitude and being grateful immediately puts your mind and your body in this state of positivity and just sheer joy. And it's the best thing that I've ever done in my life to start my day, hands down. And so starting your day with a gratitude practice is phenomenal. And all you got to do is think of like 5 things. Just think of 5 things that you're grateful for in that moment, right then and there. Whatever they may be, job, your business, the people in your life, just being able to open your eyes. It doesn't matter what it is. Just be grateful for it. Acknowledge it. Honor it. And then after that, the next part of this is figuring out what are some other small, seemingly insignificant goals that I can accomplish before even leaving the house. So that would be like making my bed. What about eating breakfast? How many of you skip on breakfast because you lie in bed till the last minute? And by the time you get up, all you have time for is to just throw on some clothes and run out the door. Like your car doesn't even get a chance to warm up, just like you. You could take a shower. That's another one. You could brush your teeth. You could make yourself breakfast. You could read the newspaper. Think of like 5 to 7 small things that you can accomplish before you even leave the house that don't include getting on your cell phone. Like, seriously, save the cell phone for the last part of your morning. Because here's the thing, when you get on your cell phone first thing in the morning before you've done anything, as soon as you wake up, like, you have this really clear headspace. Like, you've hit this mini reset button, you had a great night's sleep. Nothing is on your mind except what is in that moment right then. And while you have that free and clear headspace going on, you grab your phone and you start looking at all of the shit that's going on in the world and going on in everybody else's life. And what does that do to you? It just starts clouding everything. Everybody else's agendas, everybody else's problems and emotions and kids and boyfriends, ex-boyfriends, everything is now on your mind. And that one moment where you had some clear, creative, free headspace to just focus on you is now gone because you sabotaged yourself. Think about that. How many times have you gone through Facebook first thing in the morning and realized, like, God, these people, like, how can they live like this? And you start your day negative just by what you're seeing in front of you. But subconsciously, it's putting you in a negative frame of mind. If that hits with you, let me know. I want to challenge everybody watching this live stream right now. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, I want to challenge you to do two things. I want you to, number one, don't go back to sleep and don't check social media. And number two, I want you to instead open your eyes and think of what you're grateful for right then. Think of what you're grateful for in your life right now. What gifts have you been given that you are so incredibly grateful for? And I want you to say them aloud. Now, it's one thing just to think them. It's one thing just to think them. But I want you to say them out loud because there's something so powerful about being able to do that. Okay? So, your 3 bad habits. Here we go. Those 3 bad habits that are holding you back from having your ideal body, from losing the weight that you want, from being able to do whatever it is that you really want to do, will continue to hold you back for the rest of your life unless you decide to do something about it. And so if you're ready to do something about it, let me know with some hearts and let's talk about it. 3 steps to getting rid of negative habits. Number 1, what the hell is the trigger for this habit? What is it? So it can be a time of day, a certain time of day where it's like noon hits and all of a sudden I want cookies. 3 o'clock hits and all of a sudden I'm fiending for chips in the break room. Whatever it is, what's the trigger? It can be a time of day. It can be a certain place. It can be with a certain person. We all know that we have habits that are triggered when we hang out with certain people, right? Yes. Beer drinking buddies, girls' night, whenever we get so-and-so over to the house, we know that there's going to be 2 bottles of wine missing. Like, we all have these habits. So you got to figure out what your triggers are. Now, once you figure out what the trigger is, you got to figure out what the routine is that you go through in order to get the reward. So what is it that you do specifically? Like, when your trigger hits, what happens? And then the 3rd step to overcoming these things is figuring out what my reward is. What is the reward? What is my payoff? Because that's the only reason that we have habits, is because we want a specific reward. And then once you know what the reward is, it's always negative. It's never serving you. And so what can you do? Here's the last part of this. What can I do to replace the negative reward with one that supports my vision, supports my habit? Okay? What can I put in place of that? And so for me and my popcorn habit, what I would do instead of getting a huge tub of popcorn is I would go get a bag of beef jerky. I would get one of those big bags of, like Oberto jerky or something. And I would take that in. And instead of snacking on a bunch of butter and salt and carbs, I would just eat protein. And I eat this big bag of jerky and some water. And now that's been my new reward every time I go to the theater. Like when I get off this live stream right now, I'm going to the theater. But I've got a bag of jerky in the kitchen that I'm taking with me. That's the key to breaking these habits. Replacing the reward with something that serves me and not sets me up to fail.